Hey guys, welcome back to BariMelts channel. Today we're going to talk about protein and why it's so important after bariatric surgery and helpful ways to hopefully get your protein in every day. So if you're interested, then just stay tuned. So you have a lot of things you need to worry about after bariatric surgery, between how much food to eat, when to eat, what types of food to eat, the amount of vitamins you're supposed to be taking, what type of vitamins, how much liquids you need to be taking in, and how much protein you need to be taking in. So it can be a little overwhelming, I'm not gonna lie, between just balancing all of that and making sure you're getting everything that you need after bariatric surgery. So what I want to talk about today is protein and why you need to make sure you're getting that after bariatric surgery and just different ways that you can change it up to make sure you are hitting your goals. Protein plays a role with your brain. It can affect the way that you think and feel and react to different things. It plays a role with your immune system and the way that you can fight off different diseases. It is huge and we need it to survive. But the problem is that as bariatric patients, we are limited with how much food that we can take in. And so the sources that we can get this protein in are pretty limited. So how much protein should you actually be taking in? Well, every surgeon is a little bit different, but in my personal case, and a standard that I see quite often is 60 grams of protein. Now, I do remember that right after surgery, I think I had a higher number that I had to get to, but now that's always the number I go to. So I try to make sure every day that's what I'm getting. There's actually a mathematical way to calculate how much protein you should be consuming every day, and it's by taking 0.36 and multiplying that by your weight. So again, always talk with your surgeon because some surgeons will have different recommendations, but just make sure that you are talking to them and figuring out what that right number is because it is so different depending on who you talk to. But never ever go below 60, never. I'll be honest, getting to this goal is not always easy. I remember really early on after surgery, it was a struggle for me. I was counting the amount of protein, my fluids, I was keeping track of everything, and the one thing that I was always low on was protein. It's really hard, I think, especially when you're early on after bariatric surgery, to get creative with the way you're eating, especially when you're on the liquid diet. When you're on the liquid diet, it's harder to get in that protein because your options are very limited. So be patient and just realize that you will figure out a system that works, but it might take some time. If you're deficient in protein, you might start noticing some differences with your body. Your hair might start falling out, your nails might get really brittle, your skin might feel really dry and just not healthy. You're gonna see these noticeable changes just with your looks. And you're gonna start feeling it. You're gonna start feeling different, weaker, just not the same. So it's something that you need to look out for as a bariatric patient to make sure that you are getting this protein in. Okay, so how do you get it? How do you make sure you're getting all of that protein every single day? Well, the one thing that I try to always do and made a pretty routine out of it very early on in my journey was taking a protein shake. Having a protein shake is so important and it just gives you that burst of like 20 to 30 grams of protein right away. So why not put a protein shake into your diet? Now there's different types of protein powders and things like that out there, so just find one that works for you, but what you really need to make sure you're looking for is that it has very low sugar. A lot of them out there are like packed with sugar, and as bariatric patients, we do not need that sugar. So make sure you're sticking with one that has a very low amount of sugar. Something to remember is don't feel bad that you have to take a protein supplement because we take vitamins, we take things to help us with those deficiencies. Protein is no different. You need to feel comfortable to take supplements to help you get to that goal. As you get farther along in your journey, I really recommend that you continue to track your protein because you might get caught up in every day and just getting used to your new lifestyle that you just stop keeping track, but it is so important that you're always keeping track of what you're eating because it just makes you realize if you are making mistakes, you can look back and see, oh, I shouldn't have done that, or wow, I only ate 20 grams of protein that day. So it'll help you figure out why you're not losing if you're not losing and just keeping you on track. I mean, it's helpful to have. So foods that I recommend, turkey breast. And one of my favorite things that I still do today is I make little turkey roll-ups. So I get like deli breast turkey meat, and I usually put like the Laughing Cow cheese or string cheese, and I make this like little turkey wrap up, and then I dip it in hot sauce, and it is so good. It's so yummy. And it's just such a easy meal to make, and it's so rich in protein. As you heard there were no carbs. There were no of the breads and things that we don't need a lot of after bariatric surgery. Also, my go-to are things like nuts and beans and different things like that. I try to change it up, especially with dinner. I try to incorporate different ways I get the protein in. I'm not a big fish person, but fish is a really healthy protein. So if you are a fish person, give it a shot, because I'm trying to get a little bit better there as well. Early on in that liquid stage or the puree stage, things like Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt, I'm not a big fan of. I like regular yogurt a lot better, but Greek yogurt is really, really good for you. So give that a chance. Give like cottage cheese a chance. Things like eggs. Eggs are like my go-to still today. Eggs are such a healthy food for you after bariatric surgery. Quinoa and lentils, things like that. You can get really creative. So don't think like, oh, I'm just gonna have to sit there and eat meat all day. You don't have to eat meat, especially like you might be a vegetarian or a vegan. There are still ways to get your protein in. So some tips to hopefully help you. Always eat your protein first. Your surgeon has probably mentioned this, just the different proportions of how to go around and eat your different foods. Always focus on that protein, especially when you're really early out. You need to make sure that you're getting that protein in so you don't get yourself sick. So focus on the protein and take small bites. Don't eat fast, because it's just gonna fill you up and you're not gonna be able to eat that much. Take slow bites, chew very well so you don't get sick and you don't eat too fast and then throw up, because sometimes that can happen. I've heard a lot of people struggle with like steak and things like that, specifically with lap band. So be very careful with how you're eating it. Just chew it up really nicely so you don't get it stuck, and focus on that first. And like I said before, always track how much you're taking, because if you stop tracking, you're just not even gonna realize that you're not getting enough in, and then you're gonna start seeing signs of this deficiency, and you're gonna be like, oh crap, that's why, because I'm not eating it. So always track what you're eating and how much you're eating. All right, guys, that's it for today. If you would, give this video a big thumbs up and make sure you're subscribed to BariMelts channel, because we are putting out some really cool videos in the coming weeks. And follow the Instagram page at BariMelts to make sure you're staying up to date with all of the information that we put out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.